Matt, Robert.
Thank you and welcome to Birmingham, and you join us in this great city on the first anniversary of 2 Section 114 notices and a Section 5 notice being issued against the Labour administration. The first Section 114 notice was really clear about the reasons for Birmingham's bankruptcy. It was a failure to deliver savings. The council had missed 54% of its savings in 21-22, over 80% of its savings in 22-23. They had an equal pay liability, originally quoted at 760 million, that's now risen to 867 million. And they had an Oracle system that was rolled out. It was meant to cost 90 million, that was what was in the budget. It's currently costing 140 million, and they still haven't got a final bill because we're a year and a half away from it finally being implemented correctly. The second Section 114 notice, you might think, is even more astonishing, because it was issued for a failure of the administration to agree to act on the equal pay liability to get a grip of the financial situation in Birmingham, hence why the Section 5 notice also got issued. And the impact that's had on Brummies across our city is, as well as now having commissioners in the city, spend control boards, discretionary spending's been stopped obviously, there's increased borrowing, increased asset sales, there's been drastic cuts to services as well, because one of the things Labour are really good at when they get a financial mess in a council is not actually making the tough choices to restructure how you run a council, but instead just to do the salami slicing on the frontline services that residents actually really value. And of course the final impact on Brummies has been a 21% council tax rise over the last 2 years, and I have no doubt if they get the discretion of a cap being removed, they will be facing far higher council tax rises in the years ahead. The other thing that's come out from this whole process is just the massive financial messes that's been made. So as well as the mismanagement of IT contracts like the Oracle rollout and the mismanagement of employment contracts like equal pay issues, they built an athletes village for the Commonwealth Games in 2022. It was a brilliant success, the Commonwealth Games. That was run by Andy Street and the government. The only bit the council was in charge of was the athletes village. It never housed a single athlete. It's still not finished here in 2024. And they've just sold it at a massive loss that has left the council with a debt which will cost repayments of 18 million a year for the next 40 years. So that is a massive failure on a grand scale from an organisation that's let down its local residents. And it's not even the end of the mistakes, because just this last month the Cabinet had to admit that the CCTV control centre they originally planned for 2.9 million is coming in at 5.5 million. Massively over budget again, no lessons learned from the failed IT rollout on Oracle. So the impact on Brummies is a double whammy of higher taxes for fewer services. But just to tie it back to what the question we're being asked is can well-run councils lead the Conservatives to victory? What we saw this year in elections in Birmingham was actually Andy Street, who was the mayor of the West Midlands for the election, very sadly lost by 1,500 across an electorate of 2.4 million, had a swing to him in Birmingham compared to the last mayoral election. It's the only region in the West Midlands where actually Andy's position improved. We saw Andrew Mitchell holding on in Sutton Coldfield, where the Conservatives were forecast to lose on all the election predictors, and we've seen a swing to us in every single council by-election there's been this year. So what the party needs to learn is where there's badly run Labour councils and where there's well-run Conservative councils, we need to be using those examples far more nationally to show the electorate that where Labour get in, they destroy the finances, and where Conservatives get in, they deliver value for money and good quality services.